Okay, so now we're into degreasing. I'll just put a little bit of water-soluble degreaser in the head, just to try and get rid of the excess. Obviously the cylinder head sat on a cloth to protect the gasket mating faces. Give it a quick once over, and then you guessed it, it's in the dishwasher. Always using eco-friendly bits and pieces, you know, degreasers and stuff. When you put them in the dishwasher, don't be using anything too strong or too soapy. End up with froth everywhere putting it in a dishwasher. Right, we're about ready to go in that dishwasher. What I've done to prevent those seats falling out, as you can see, I don't know if you can see too clearly, but anyway, I've woven a couple of tie wraps through the cylinder head to hold those seats in place so they don't fall out in the dishwasher. And hopefully when it all comes out nice and clean, we'll be able to retrieve those seats reasonably easily. So without further ado, let's wash it off. Right, there we go. We've got one reasonably clean cylinder head. So now we've got the problem of getting the washers out. So what we'll do is we'll reach in and take them tie wraps out spoke about earlier. There's one. There you go. Right, first things first. We've got our spring seats, two sizes. Smaller one for the exhaust valve and the larger one for the intake valve. Okay, first things first, we need to dry these out. So what we do is we take a tin, give them a quick dry with a cloth, like that. Don't put that on there, you muppet. Right. Give them a rub with a cloth. Right, our worst enemy at the moment is rust. What I'm going to do, 8 of each. Warm them up with a heat gun to dry them out. Like that. Okay. Well, they're nice and dry. Do the other ones. They just look like ordinary washers, these, but they're quite important. Right. So that's the spring seats taken out. So the head now is more or less ready for the next process, which is solder blasting to remove all the carbon, and masking up and painting. As you can see, we have a very minor carbon problem. So what we'll do is, this will have to be absolutely 100% dry before I put it in the blaster, because if you put it in the blaster when it's got any moisture in it and you're using soda, it'll just clog up the blaster. So this will have to be dried out thoroughly. I'll probably use a heat gun on a low setting to dry it out thoroughly before we proceed. As you can see there in the exhaust ports, we've got a small build-up of carbon. I put a lot of this down to running on choke a lot, starting the bike up in winter maybe and just letting it run for 20 minutes and turning it off. Other reasons could include valve stem seals. You saw me taking them off. They weren't in very good condition. They weren't conducive to preventing oil. So we'll give that a clean up. Okay, back in the workshop. Right, solder blasting, 'tis done. As you can see, it's left the head nice and clean. It's a very soft media, is soda. It's just basically just to remove all the carbon without damaging any of the underlying surfaces. Gets all the crap off without the use of a proprietary abrasive like a wire brush or something like that that's really quite coarse. Don't forget you're dealing with an aluminium head, so the last thing you want is to be gouging at it. So those that are sharp-eyed amongst you will also notice that we've had a lick of paint. I got the chance to do it, so I just got on with it basically. It was one of those jobs, I just knuckled down and got it done. So yeah, cylinder head all nice and done, nice and clean. Obviously we'll be giving it another clean before we assemble it. We've got the valves to lap in, we've got the head to assemble before we can actually put it on the engine. Obviously you assemble it first. So good to go. See you in a bit.